It was all A's last night versus the Rangers. Actually, it's been all A's this season over Texas. 4 games, 4 wins for the green and gold. The first-place Rangers have not figured out the Athletics this season, as Bob Melvin and the boys have outscored their rival from Texas 33-11. Chris Davis has been the thorn in the side of the Rangers with 5 home runs and 13 RBIs. The hard-swinging trade acquisition has been everything the A's had hoped for, as he leads the team with 15 home runs. The A's look for 5 in a row over the Rangers, and it starts right now. Beautiful night for baseball at the Coliseum, and the A's are trying to make it 3 wins in a row. It's game 2 of this 4-game series. It's the Oakland A's hosting the Texas Rangers, and you'll see tonight's game right here on CSN California. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's Baseball, along with Mark Mulder. I'm Glenn Kuiper. Last night, the A's exploded for a season-high 14 runs. Chris Davis had another big night, and he's kind of a streaky hitter, Mark, and it looks like now he's getting on one of those hot streaks.
Yeah, he's feeling very confident in the plate, and Doug Brocal, the Texas Rangers pitching coach, has his work cut out because whatever scouting report they've gone with this season has not been working. Chris Davis takes big swings. He's trying to do damage, and so far the Rangers have given him pitches to do that.
Last night he had a 5 RBI performance, and that was the game winner. But last night, 3-run homer, and it really, again, got some early runs for the A's, and that made a big difference.
And that's the key. It's those early runs. You put up some zeros as a starting pitcher, give your team a chance to score first, and it leads to much better things.
Now for the Rangers, they'll send left-hander Martin Perez to the mound. His 14th start, he's healthy. In fact, he's back from Tommy John surgery, and he's pitching well right now.
I feel like we say that about every pitcher, back from Tommy John surgery. But think last night's game, Cesar Ramos, but a better version, much better stuff. 4-pitch pitcher. He'll throw 91 to 95 miles an hour. He'll cut it. He'll sink it. He's going to be a challenge for the A's because he is hot right now.
And the A's actually put a loss on Martin Perez earlier this year, and the A's will counter with their own left-hander, Eric Surkamp. So the A's trying to make it 2 in a row in this series over the first-place Texas Rangers. We'll have lineups and first pitch from the Coliseum right after this.
SN California is brought to you by Jack in the Box. It's back, the Portobello Mushroom Buttery Jack. Taste it before it's gone at Jack in the Box. And by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places.
So we are just about set for game 2 of this 4-game series between the Athletics and the Rangers. Let's look at the game time weather for tonight. It's presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is now open daily. Nice night, 63 degrees, breezy, and cool off a little bit. Gentlemen out in right field, they're not worried about the weather. They're ready to go as always. And so are the Texas Rangers. And let's look at their lineup for tonight. Shin-Soo Choo will lead things off. He will be in right field. Ian Desmond is in center. Nomar Mazara, fine rookie left fielder. Did not play last night. We'll see him tonight. Ryan Rua is going to play first base. Prince Fielder with the H. Jurickson Profar is the third baseman. So Beltre out again. And then Odor, Andrus, and Chirinos.
And Eric Surkamp back for his 4th stint with the A's. Kind of been on that shuttle bus, even though it is a plane. Going back and forth, you see the record 0-3, high ERA, a 6.41. Just trying to find what his approach needs to be out there to be successful.
Surkamp's first pitch of the ball game, just a touch low to Shin-Soo Choo.
First pitch, 7:07.
So Surkamp back up to the big leagues. Two 2-0 the count to Choo. Choo, Desmond, and Mazara here in the first. A's won last night big, scoring a season high 14 runs. There's a strike. 7th start of the year for Surkamp. He did not face the Rangers when Texas was here in the month of May. Pretty good pitch, called the ball, 3-1.
Well, and everything Surkamp throws is more on the 4-seam side. 4-seam fastball, 4-seam changeup, mix in a cutter here or there, in and out.
And he walked him. So a leadoff walk to Shin-Soo Choo. The A's defense for tonight has Chris Davis in left, Billy Burns in center, Jake Smolinski in right, so Coco Crisp is going to get the night off. Valencia, Simeon, Lowry, and Alonso on the infield, and for the 2nd night in a row, Josh Fegley is behind the plate. Lowry got the night off last night, so he's back out there. And here's Ian Desmond. Desmond takes side. Desmond at 303, 9 home runs, 42 runs batted in. He's got 16 doubles. He's got a triple. And he also has 12 stolen bases. So a very fine all-around season so far for Desmond. Strike on the outside corner, 1-1 the count. Umpires tonight, that's Vic Carapaza calling balls and strikes. Bill Welke at first, Toby Basner at second. Crew chief John Hirschbeck is down at third. See, the umpires have the heavy jackets on tonight. It is a little bit of a cool night. Bounced foul.
Well, and that's what you're going to see a little more of from Surkamp on the glove side. So inside to righties, away from lefties. He commands the ball a little better. You're going to see more fastballs and cutters inside. Choo, who he walked leading off, I'd like to see him be a little more aggressive, go after guys.
Choo with a decent lead at first. That one is blocked by Fegley. So the count even at 2-2. Desmond was 0 for 3 in last night's game.
Well, this is the secondary lead. Choo, who was looking to go, saw that pitch coming in, knew it was going to bounce. That's kind of how you do it. If the catcher keeps it in front of him, you got to shut it down.
Rangers come in 39-25, 4.5 game lead over the second place Mariners in the West. They're 15-15 on the road. They've been very good at home, 24-10 at home. But the best record in the American League, 14 games over 500. And there's a drive left center field, and that's a hit. Chu to second, stops there. So the Rangers an early scoring opportunity. Greater coverage of baseball brought to you by T-Mobile. The transaction to get Sir Camp here was Sean Manaea going on the disabled list with the
left fielder,
left pronator muscle strain, which is basically in the forearm area. He was pitching well last night. He was 2/3 of an inning away from qualifying for a victory, but he just could not go. The forearm bothering him a little bit. So he is on the disabled list. And Sir Camp called up. So anytime a young pitcher goes on the disabled list, you're concerned, but we'll see how that all works out. Hopefully Manaea will be back soon. This is when he had to leave the game last night.
Well, and I was talking to Kurt Young earlier, and he just kind of said, you know, he didn't even show any reaction that it was bothering him. They kind of noticed it right when the inning started, that his velocity was a little down. Lots of times guys will start stretching, pulling their wrist back, trying to stretch it a little bit. He wasn't doing that, so he was trying to fight through it to where he just couldn't take it anymore. And that's when, and even he didn't even call the training staff out. They just kind of went out after noticing every pitch he threw, the velocity was down 3, 4, 5 miles an hour, and they had to go check on him. Hopefully it's not too long. But with those forearm strains, you know, you get work on it every day, but nothing's going to really speed it up.
1-1 to Nomar Mazara. Grounds it slowly toward short. Simeon to second to get the out there. So fielder's choice for Mazara, first and third, 1 out. The ball just not hit very hard. And Mazara runs well. He's a big guy.
Yeah, it got in on his hands, and just good job by Simeon. You know you're only going to get one. Lowry the same thing. Just make sure you stay on the bag. Make the catch. You can see the throw was a little to his right. Took him off the bag, but just get that first out.
Exmo brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. So here's Ryan Rua hitting in the cleanup spot. He had a home run last night. 5 homers, 15 RBIs. Rangers still without Beltre. Sore hamstring. He's getting closer to playing. So with Beltre out, Profar's playing third, and Rua's hitting in the middle of the lineup.
Well, he's got lots of pop, and you could see that ball last night, the night game, just how far that went. That ball down in the zone. Caught a little too much plate. He hit that thing hard.
291 the average for Rua. Toward right, Smolinski's right there. He's got it. Chu's going to tag up, and Chu will slide in safely. It's a sacrifice fly for Rua, and the Rangers have a 1-0 lead. So Rua got it in the air like he needed to.
It's just doing your job, and Ryan Rua kind of took what he got a fastball away, and you could just see the swing. Just tried to stay through it, get it to the outfield somehow. Really no chance to throw out Chu at home as deep as it was hit.
So 2 outs now with Mazara at first, and here is Prince Fielder. Prince Fielder was 0 for 3 last night. He was hit by a pitch, and he takes a strike. 199 the average for Prince Fielder. Hard to believe. Prince Fielder has a slugging percentage of .314.
Yeah.
That's not very good.
It's not what we've come to expect from him.
I mean, just as an example, Beltre, who's a very, very good power hitter, he has a slugging percentage of .462. If your slugging percentage is over .450, that's pretty good.
Yep.
It's been a struggle this year for Big Prince.
And this is coming off of a season where, what, I think he hit just over 300 last year.
Good year.
Got off to a little bit of a slow start, but
he can heat up at any time, though, and you have to be careful for that. Nice play in the backhand by Lowry, side retired. So a run for the Rangers, and the A's come to bat in the bottom of the first. It's Burns, Lowry, Valencia, Davis, Butler, Fegley, Simeon, Smolinski, and Alonso. That's your Oakland A's starting lineup.
Martin Perez making his 14th start for the Rangers this season. Coming off Tommy John surgery, excellent stuff. You're going to see 91 to 95 with sink. He's a ground ball pitcher. He keeps the ball down. On a 4-game personal winning streak, pitching very well right now, but he will walk people. His command can get away from him from time to time, but as we saw last night, better stuff than what we saw last night, though.
Now, he has the 4th most walks in the American League, but the ERA is 3.22.
Yeah, so he's making pitches with guys in scoring position.
Yeah, he's quality. Martin Perez. Billy Burns fouls it back. Burns in center field tonight, hitting at .245 with no home runs and 6 RBIs. 0-2 pitch is looped towards shallow right, and that's a base hit. Chu was playing shallow, but not shallow enough, so a leadoff single. The Rangers defense tonight has Mazar in left, Desmond in center, Chu in right, Profar at third, Andrus at short, Odor is at second, and Rua the first baseman. Robinson Chirinos just back from the disabled list. He's going to be the catcher tonight. Not just back as in tonight, but back within the last week. First pitch to Lowry. In first strike. So both hitters, or both teams, get their leadoff hitters aboard in the first inning. Lowry had .303, a homer and 19 RBIs. Billy Burns is 12 for 15 in steal attempts. He's been struggling offensively, Burns, so he has not been on base a lot. He's not had a lot of opportunities. I do think, though, when Billy Burns is in the lineup, he obviously impacts the game with his speed, and I think he needs to use it as much as possible.
Yeah.
And that may be a reason to start a runner right there. 17 ground ball double plays for Martin Perez.
Well, especially for a team that kind of struggles when they're down early, giving up that run in the first inning.
Birds has a good lead. Pitch is high. Valencia to follow here in the first. A's come in with a 27-36 record. They're 14-16 at home, but they've won 6 straight home games. They swept the Twins. They have yet to lose to the Rangers this year. They're 4-0 against Texas. It's a nice little stretch the A's are on. In fact, starting with last night's game, they will play 14 of their next 20 at home. And that one to right field down the line, and that'll drop fair. Burns rounds second. He'll go to third, and the A's are in business. First and third, nobody out.
Great job of hitting by Jed Lowry. He gets a fastball away. There was a big hole in between first and second with Burns on first. Lowry, while he didn't hit the hole, he did look to go the other way. And once that ball's down, Burns easily into third. You can see him read that the right way and doesn't even need to look back once he knows it's going to be down and cruises into third base.
So a chance for the A's to tie it up as Valencia steps in. Valencia had a couple of hits, an RBI, and scored 3 runs last night. Sitting at .338 with the batting average. And he lines it. What a play by Profar. Diving to his left. And he was fully extended.
Great play by Profar. We saw last night him make a few errors on balls, hot shots that were hit his way. And in BP this afternoon, he was out there with Adrian Beltre. They were working on kind of these reactions. This is exactly what it was. Him and Beltre were right next to each other. Each ball off the bat in BP, they were working on that first step. Beltre was working with them, and there's an example, and it pays off right here in the first inning for the Rangers.
So 1 out for Chris Davis. Davis lines one, fair, headed for the right field corner. Burns will score. Lowry headed for third, and they're waving him home. Odor's throw to the plate is in time. Got it. Davis ends up at third. And the ball game is tied.
Well, you see Davis shoot this down the line, and everyone's off and running the second this is hit. You can see Chu gets to it pretty quickly, picks it up clean, and Lowry's running right from the get-go, but Odor gets that ball from on the relay and makes a perfect throw. And what a great play by Chirinos at home on that short hop. That's the hardest part about that, is you know the runner's coming in on you. He gets the short hop. Here's the throw by Odor, and sometimes a catcher would prefer a longer hop, but what a nice pick at home plate and the tag.
You may not say it a lot. That was a great play by the catcher.
Absolutely. That is so difficult to get yourself positioned. Then you're worrying about, I mean, I know they're not worried about getting run over anymore because he's not in front of it, but
he still was able to block it a little bit.
Yes. And that is such a difficult pick, especially with that type of a glove at home plate.
Driven to center. Desmond back. Desmond at the wall. Desmond with just enough room makes the catch. So a long out for Billy Butler, and when it's all said and done, the A's get a run. So it's a 1-1 game after 1.
great night last night. Got a run here in the first to tie it back up. And secondly, Surkamp, give me 6 innings. 5 2/3 is his season high. 6 is actually his career high. And after last night with Manaea having to come out early, bullpen got worked a little bit. Love to see him try to keep his pitch count down and give the A's 6 solid innings tonight.
So, you know what, to get to 6 innings, I think it was Surkamp. It's that second time through the lineup where sometimes, you know, the pitch count gets up, maybe some adjustments are made, and maybe he needs to make some adjustments on that second time through. So he gets a first out on Profar. Second time through the lineup, hitting .364 against Surkamp. Third time through, 400.
Well, and I've talked about it before. I mean, he's essentially a 2-pitch guy, kind of fastball cutter, changeups here or there. It's about not showing him everything. Saving something for that second, third time through the order, something you can go to get strike 1. Keeping them off balance, being aggressive as he's been here with these first 2 hitters. Strike 1 is so important. And when you do that, it just gives you so many other options. When you're pitching behind in the count, you're forcing yourself to have to come to them and throw strikes. And there's a reason the averages are so different for guys being ahead in the count as opposed to behind.
0-1 to Odor, who shows bunt. Ball shoots to the backstop. So 1-1 the count. Odor 10 homers, 30 RBIs. Last night Odor was 1 for 4. He scored a run. He has served his 7-game suspension for the boxing match with Jose Bautista. Guess he appealed it, right? It was originally 8, and he appealed it, and it went down to 7 games. Jose Bautista is going to, unfortunately, have to live with that one for a while, which is not that much fun, but he probably doesn't care.
That one had to hurt a little bit.
Yeah, it did. Two and 2 the count with Elvis Andrus waiting in the on-deck circle.
You got to give Odor credit, though. Lots of times you see guys get angry on the field and they kind of wait till people get in between them.
He was not waiting.
He did not wait. He wasn't happy about it.
Nope. He said, I'm going to get the first one in.
Well,
because if I get one in, by the time he tries, there may be some other people around. Pitch is high, and it's a walk. So this was on the 15th of May, and it was a testy game to start with, and then Bautista slid in hard, and Odor didn't like it, and it didn't last long. See, then you got guys coming. So you get a punch in, and then your teammates grab the other guy, and you're good.
Yeah, there's certain guys in the game who like to chirp, and we've seen over many years, and the second the catcher grabs them or whatever, then they get angry.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
You know, especially when they're at home. But this is a situation where he didn't like it, and he went after him. And right or wrong, I kind of, in a way, I like he at least took care of it right then and there instead of waiting for someone to grab him, and then everybody starts chirping, and then nothing happens.
No, he did not need his teammates.
Nope.
0-1 the count to Andrus, hitting .286, couple of home runs. Andrus will show bunt a lot. He's a good bunter. 2 for 4 last night with a double, an RBI, and a stolen base for Rangers shortstop. Odor has 6 steals, something to keep an eye on. 6 for 7. 2. And that's it. Thought that was strike 3. I think it is strike 3, isn't it? We missed something here. Is that not the third pitch to Elvis Andrus?
Melvin
maybe
came
it wasn't.
out.
Maybe the count was not 0-2. I thought the count was 0-2.
Yeah, Melvin came out. He gave the.
So the first pitch. Now watch the umpire. See, it looked like he would call it a strike, but he didn't. Watch.
He went to call it, and that's why we assumed it was a strike.
It looked like he gave that strike sign. Yep. So that's the confusion. 2-2 the count. Keep an eye on Odor. Robinson Chirinos is the on-deck hitter. Odor goes. And the ball's looped to right, and that's trouble, and that's going to drop fair. And Odor stopped at second, and then when he saw it was going to fall, he takes off for third. So Odor was going on the play. Andrus drops it into right field. So again, the Rangers have first and third.
Yeah, it didn't matter that Odor slowed down around second base. He wouldn't have scored anyway, but you see Andrews kind of flare this one to right. As Walensky gets to it, Odor, you see him stealing on the pitch. He picks it up. He didn't know exactly where it was, and he kind of stutter steps around the base, cruises into third base.
You know what, Mark? At that point, stopping at second, there's really no reason to do that because you're going to get doubled up if he catches it anyways.
Yes.
You just want to make sure you get to third, and he had enough time to get to third. Chirinos takes a strike. Chirinos at 190, but just 21 at bats. He's 4 for 21. Chirinos was hit by a pitch by Garrett Richards the first week of the season, and it broke his right forearm. So he was on the disabled list for 2 months. Just back. He was activated on Thursday. So the Rangers really miss Robinson Chirinos a little bit.
I think this is a pitch Surkamp can go to a little more often with righties. You see a slow breaking ball, 74, 75 miles an hour. And with the way his fastball kind of has a little cut to it, and with that cutter, it has a similar spin, lower arm angle. He doesn't throw it very often, but here's a chance you could almost double up, try to bounce another one.
And that one is hit deep to left field. Davis is back, and it is gone. An 0-2 pitch, and Chirinos hits a 3-run homer, and the Rangers lead 4-1. So maybe a pitcher's nightmare. An 0-2 pitch hit over the wall for a 3-run shot.
There's nothing worse to a pitcher than giving up an 0-2 hit. And here's the example. It was another breaking ball, and you can see just how much this one was hung up and over the middle of the strike zone. And Chirinos, like you said, has not been back all that long, but boy, did he look comfortable on that one. You got to find a way, either come in off the plate with a fastball or bounce it like he did on the previous pitch, but that's just a pitch you can't throw. A hitter's trying to be short with 2 strikes, and you get a hanger like that and your eyes just light up.
So second home run of the year for Chirinos, and that one hurts. You're thinking about a double play, and the guy hits one out. Inside corner strike to Chu. Chu walked and scored in the first inning. Don't forget, even though the A's won the game last night and really blew out the Rangers, the Rangers hit 3 home runs last night, so now 4 homers in the series. They have 76 on the year. They're 8th in the American League in total home runs hit. I like it. Alonso backhands. Surkamp hustling over, 2 outs. So now you start looking at your scorecard after the home run. And
now batting, number 20.
the Odor walk obviously hurt. And he was ahead in the count as well to Odor.
That's exactly right. I talked about him being aggressive, going after guys a little bit. He has good stuff. You got to attack guys. There's times where it seems he picks a little bit from time to time, and that'll get you in trouble, especially against a lineup like this with the power that they have and how they can score quick on you.
First pitch to Desmond, down and away. Desmond singled in the first inning. The Rangers as a team are 3rd in the American League in total runs scored, so they are one of the top teams in that category. They've scored over 300 runs this year. They're 5th in the league in stolen bases. They don't walk a lot, but they're dangerous. The Rangers are 13th in the league in runs, or walks, excuse me. The A's are 14th. So there's the numbers. 16 different players have hit home runs. That one back up the middle, and Desmond is 2 for 2. Desmond quiet last night, but a couple of hits tonight.
It's another slow breaking ball, and Desmond out in front drives it back up the middle. Surkamp's got to find a way with that breaking ball, either to get it down or try to back foot it. Throwing it the couple that he has, they're just up and over the plate, and it's a 75, 76 mile an hour. And it's not like a sharp one. It's more of a roller. So it has to have better location in order to be effective. And where he's put these last couple, the Rangers have taken advantage.
So here is the rookie Nomar Mazara. Nomar Mazara is 21 years old. Now, does he look like a 21-year-old? He's 6'4", 220 pounds. From the Dominican Republic. Drives this one toward left. Davis backs up. Now comes in, and Chris Davis has it. I think it's a little breezy up there. So a big home run for the Rangers. They lead 4-1. By AAA. What is your insurance doing? It's not doing insurance? No, it should do more. Go to AAA.com for more. Bottom of the second inning, Fegley, Simeon, and Smolinski. The A's now trailing 4-1. First pitch to Fegley is a little bit low from Martin Perez. He's got a run in the first on Chris Davis RBI double. So in the next half inning, we have a little treat. Of course, the draft ended on Saturday. The shutdown inning notes for Martin Perez, a little below the league average. The A's making 40 picks in this draft. In the air to deep right center field, but just enough room for Desmond. So Fegley is retired. One out here in the second inning. One of the A's top picks, Dalton Jeffries from the University of California, is going to come up to the booth and join us. Jeffries signed his contract. He was the sandwich pick for the Athletics. Sandwich picked right after the first round. So we'll look forward to talking to the young right-hander as he is off to the minor leagues. Mark Mulder knows all about the excitement of the draft.
If I can remember that long ago.
Yeah, it's a little while ago, but not too bad. Second pick in the draft, Mark Mulder. And Pat Burrow reminds you of that all the time, I'm sure. Pat Burrow was the first pick.
He likes to.
Profar has it. And that's the second out. Simeon retired. So you go through the draft, you get everybody picked, but then you have to get everybody signed. And that a little different though when you were there.
Yeah, it's a lot easier
now. Now there's a deadline.
Yeah, it's a lot easier now. Plus they have all that slotted stuff, and there was none of that when I was younger. I didn't sign until the draft was June. I didn't sign until October.
So there was not a deadline.
No. Well, there was technically, because if I would have gone back to Michigan State for my senior year.
Okay.
But I didn't go because I knew it was going to get done sooner or later.
So the deadline was whether you went back to school.
Yes.
For the next year or not.
Yes. If I would have reported to campus or gone to my first class, I think that's when it would have been over with. Or at least I think that's how it worked then.
Well, now, yeah, there's a deadline and maybe a little less negotiating going on because of the slotted money. Drive towards center. Desmond comes in. He's got it. Side retired. So we'll look forward to talking to the young right-hander Dalton Jeffries when we come back. Rangers leading the A's 4-1. California, Dalton Jeffries with the 37th pick in the Major League Baseball draft. The numbers from this year. He has a contract, and we're thrilled to have Dalton Jeffries in the booth. Little injury notes on there, but we're not going to worry about those. Dalton, congratulations on being picked by the Athletics, and thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
How's it going today? A lot going on, kind of a busy day?
Yeah, a lot going on. Going through, you know, some physicals and things like that, the usual stuff, but I was happy to come out to the field and say hello to the guys and everything, and it was a good experience.
Well, I don't want to say you're bad luck, but the Rangers just hit a home run. You were a half a sentence into my first question.
Ever since I came up to the third level, they hit 2 bombs. But
that's all right. That's all right. There's nothing we can do about that up here as Rua hits his 6th home run of the year. So again, congratulations. Probably an exciting time. Tell us about draft day. You were picked on the first day, 37th pick. How did it all go? Were you nervous? Were you wondering what the heck's going to go on?
I was pretty anxious. My advisor called me and said that I was going to go 47 to the A's. So I kind of put my phone underneath me and didn't really worry about anything. And then I guess he was trying to get a hold of me and trying to get a hold of my dad. And we weren't picking up our phones, which is probably not the best idea.
On draft day?
Yeah. And then so he ended up calling my brother, and my brother came in and whispered, like, hey, you're going right now. And Eric Burns was there to make the announcement. So my mom jumped up and down, and my dad was nice too. So it was a great time, my family there and everything.
So first, tell me your first thought. Second, you get the call. First thought.
I'm really glad that it's in Northern California.
That's good.
Really
well, I was in Chicago, and I remember my first thought, oh, the white shoes? that was honestly my first thought, and I'm not even kidding.
Yeah, my dad asked me about the white shoes and the yellow and green stirrups, if I was going to wear those.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm just excited, man. This is awesome for me.
So, University of California. What got you to Cal? I know you're from the Valley, and what got you to Cal?
Yeah, I mean, I'm from the Valley. There weren't a lot of Cal guys to go. There were a couple of football players in my high school as well. So I was originally committed to Stanford, and then my summer going to my senior year, it didn't really work out. So I was able to reach back out to Cal, and I went and took a visit, and you know, they offered me a scholarship, and I was able to pitch against Stanford, and you know, the rest is history.
Did you spend any time at the Coliseum in your
I did.
time in
Berkeley
campus?
Yeah, we used to come to AT&T and, you know, Oakland Coliseum a lot, and I would come to see Sonny Gray pitch, and you know, because I'm a big fan of his, so. You know, just to be around, you know, this environment and things like that, and it's just a BART right away. You know, BART, you're there, I guess. But yeah, I mean, it was a good experience being at Cal.
Well, let's check him out. We're gonna break down the delivery here a little bit, Dalton.
Tell the fans kind of what are some of your strengths. Maybe what are some things you want to work on.
My strengths are definitely command, athleticism. I used to be a shortstop. Well, I think I still am a shortstop, and I still think that I can hit a little bit. But yeah, I mean, both sides of the plate, and kind of controlling with my fastball and changeup and slider. And you know, the things I really need to work on is just kind of perfecting, you know, my craft. A lot of guys go into, you know, pro ball and things like that, and they don't really know what kind of pitcher they are, kind of touching and feeling on different things. So I feel like it's really important to just kind of get in sync with what I am, and trying to master my craft, basically.
Well, in reading about you, the thing that kept coming up was your command, that you had good command, advanced command for a college pitcher. So has it always been that way?
It's kind of always been that way. I recently, well, my sophomore year, I figured out that I needed to throw inside more, because a lot of college hitters aren't really looking for a ball inside, you know. So I kind of used that to my strength, and I was able to pitch off that with going with changeups or sliders. So it worked out well for me.
Well, you know, Mark Mulder, and he's a little older, but he's not that old. He was the 2nd pick in the draft, so he knows what you're going through a little bit.
It's an exciting time, to be honest with you. I mean, it's a whole new world, and to be honest, as a starting pitcher, the only thing, just get yourself a routine.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and I'm sure you already have one, but you know, now it's not college, and you're going to be pitching every 5 days, and it takes a toll on you. And I think the more the routine you have and the more diligent you are with it, the better off you'll be.
Yeah, I agree. I'm a big routine guy myself, so whether it's eating or sleeping routine or anything like that, I'm all for it.
So what you're saying is the Friday night starter means a little different in pro ball, right?
Yeah, and then closing on Sunday or whatever it might be. It's a little different. The sleeping routine that you said, it might be a little different once you hit those buses too.
Yeah, I know.
So where do you go now? You headed down to Arizona?
Yeah, so I'm going down to Arizona on Thursday. I'll probably want to do some, rehabilitation, stuff like that, just to make sure I'm 120% instead of 100%. So, it's a conservative route, but I respect it, and I'm all for it. I'm ready to get going.
So if everything is okay and you're healthy, which I'm sure you are, do you know where they will send you? Will it be the short season?
I'm assuming the short season, yeah, just to get a couple innings in, a couple starts in, and then have me come back and go to instructs and feeling healthy, and then come back for the off season, get a lot stronger and stay healthy, and then go to spring training.
Well, you better hope you're not in Arizona very long. Yeah. I live there, and it's a little warm there right now.
Yeah, especially right now.
And this weekend's going to kind of be ridiculous, so you might want to try to stay inside.
I'll
do as much work inside as you possibly can.
Carry a gallon of water with me everywhere I go.
That won't help.
Fouled straight back by Profar. So Ruo with a leadoff homer here in the third. And then Prince Fielder with the single. The A's have action out in their bullpen. So tough going right now for Eric Surkamp. We're chatting with Dalton Jeffries, the second pick for the Athletics, the 37th pick overall in this year's draft. Of course, the A's took A.J. Puck, big left-handed pitcher. And Profar swings and misses. So hopefully A.J. Puck gets signed soon, and you guys can do some damage together. What do you know about him?
I know he's a big boy.
He's a big boy.
He's a big boy. Myself and Logan Shore and A.J. Puck played on the USA team together.
Okay, so you guys all know each other.
Yeah, we all know
Logan
each other.
Shore was the third pick by the A's.
Yeah, he was. So as soon as, I got picked, and then I immediately went and bought a hat because I was all pumped up. And then while I was gone, Logan Shore got picked up, so I called him and freaked out. And we started a little group text together, and we FaceTime in the morning with our A's hats on.
And those guys both
awesome.
Pitched at Florida, so you're going to have to listen to Gator stories.
Yeah,
I'm sure you already have. Right?
Yeah, I'm not very excited for that. But.
So when did things were you picked out of high school?
I was picked in the 39th round by the Marlins.
So what changed for you, let's say, from high school to now?
Gained 35 pounds since my graduation at high school. My mentality has gotten a lot better with knowing myself, knowing hitters, tendencies, pitch, sequences, things like that. So I've developed a lot as a pitcher, and I've grown up a little bit. I was able to go to college and be on my own and kind of take care of myself, and I matured a lot that way. So all these things kind of leading up to the draft and then going into pro ball, it's been nothing but beneficial.
Cool. Well, it sort of makes you realize, I mean, how hard it is to go into pro ball out of high school, because you may not be ready for that. I mean, could you imagine if you would have went into pro ball, signed out of high school? I mean, some kids just aren't ready for the grind of everything.
I wouldn't have been able to. There's no way. And kind of like what he just said,
Odor with a hit. So the hits just keep on coming, and Bob Melvin maybe glancing down to that bullpen. And Bob Melvin is indeed going to make a change. So, Dalton, we're going to let you go. We want you to enjoy the game, and hopefully we'll see you back here at the Coliseum real soon. But good luck this year. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, best of luck.
Thank you.
All right, so Dalton Jeffries, the 37th pick in this year's draft by the Athletics. He's heading to Arizona in a couple days, so we appreciate him stopping by. Sepczynski coming in.
versus Giants games of 2016 at the Oakland Coliseum when the Cross Bay rivals square off on June 29th and 30th. The A's look to continue their winning ways against the Giants, having captured 2 of the last 3 season series. These interleague showdowns are always some of the most popular games of the year. So get your tickets today at athletics.com/tickets.
Pitched in a few of those. Always fun, right?
Yeah.
Crowds into it.
The chanting starts, you know, out in the bleachers. It's like, okay, who can be louder?
Yeah.
You got people back then, guys, some of the A's fans coming with the drums.
Oh, yeah. So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and repair expert. Zepchinski comes in. He's trying to slow things down here. There was a lot of hard hit balls against Eric Surkamp. He gave up 7 hits in 2 1/3 innings.
And Zepchinski, you see the 3.32 ERA, sinker, slider. Boy, would you like to see a good sinker here for a double play?
Slider inside, 2-0. So nice to chat with Dalton Jeffrey. Seems like a nice young man. Seems like he's very excited to be an Athletic.
I love seeing just the. I mean, he looks 12, you know,
He does.
And just how much he has ahead of him it gets me excited.
Yeah.
You know, someone with good stuff like that, a high pick, and he's going to be given a lot of opportunities, and those are the ones you hope take advantage of that.
Said he wasn't looking at his phone. If I would have been in his spot, I would have been staring at that phone from the second the draft started.
See, that's what's funny. They had other people to call. They call his brother, call his dad, whoever. For me, we had to stay off the home phone. It was the only way to get a hold of me.
You're staring at the home phone.
Just waiting for the home phone to ring.
Mark, stop staring at the phone.
Oh, man.
Oh, you didn't have to wait long, though, so.
That was true, but.
And that bounced in the hole, and that's a base hit. Prince Fielder's being waved home. Here comes Chris Davis' throw. It's offline. Valencia digs it out, cuts it off, throws it to third. They're safe. Throws to second, and Andrus is safe. So nothing good happened on that play for the Athletics. So Prince Fielder scores to make it 6-1. Valencia cut it off. His throw to third was late.
And Zepchinski got the ground ball that he wanted. You see a sinker down and away, and Andrus kind of just pulls it in the hole. And then things kind of go a little sideways here. Davis comes up, makes the throw. You see Valencia try to get it on one hop, a jump throw. It gets away from Simeon. And Simeon makes a good throw to second. And Lowry did not keep the tag on Andrus. And the way Andrus kind of hopped off that bag with one foot and kept the other one on, if he might have kept that tag on Andrus, there might have been something worth replaying right there.
So 6-1, and Chirinos has a chance to knock in a couple more. He had a 3-run homer in the second inning.
You see Andrus slide at second. His foot.
Yep, he did. You got to hold the tag.
And, you know, they teach the infielders that now. And I know Lowry was worried about Odor at third, whether he was going to try to take off, which is probably why he didn't hold that tag. But you see Andrus' foot pops off. And even there, his glove still almost was on him for that second. But if he holds it a little bit longer.
Swing and a miss. Good changeup. So 4 hits in the inning.
You can see just how close this was. The tag was almost still on him when his foot was off, and
that was close. That always brings up the question, close enough to change it?
Yep.
Maybe, maybe not.
Yeah, I don't think it was definitive enough that even if the A's would have challenged, whether that would have made a difference.
Another changeup, no swing. So 2-1 the count to Chirinos. So the air goes to Valencia. The A's made 3 errors last night. Another one tonight. They now have 44 on the year, the most in the American League. But really before last night, they had been playing Better defense, making fewer errors. Oh, 2 pitch to Chirinos in the second, and he just hung up there. A big blow in this game.
Those are the ones that'll hurt you. Those 0-2 pitches, you got to find a way to bury that. Move the hitter, maybe elevate a fastball. It's just something you can't make that mistake. Guys are too short with 2 strikes.
The 3-1 pitch is low. So now the bases are loaded, and we go to the top of the order and Chu.
Now batting, number 17, Shin-Soo Choo.
So that's 3 walks now by A's pitchers. Chu has walked and scored, and he has grounded out. Odor's at third, Andrus at second, Chirinos at first. Chu check swing, and it's a little bit low.
Well, you don't want to give in to Chu right here. You have bases loaded. You obviously don't want to go 2-0 on him. Zepchinski's got to find a way to make a pitch right here. Get back even in the count in some way, or get a ground ball.
Inside again, and now it's 2-0. Rangers threatening to bust this thing open. Little bit low, and now it's 3-0. It would have been a pitcher strike.
It's where you want to throw it, but when you're behind in the count and not throwing strikes, you're not going to get those calls. So you have to be careful. Chu could be swinging here.
And he wasn't, and it's a strike. Took a step toward first base. So he'll be ready to go now. Shoot. And he walked it. So Odor will trot home to score, and it's 7-1. That is the final run that's charged to Surkamp. Give Chu an RBI, his third of the year.
Now batting, number 20, Ian Desmond.
So an ugly game so far for the Athletics.
Well, it's kind of like the Rangers are returning the favor from last night. Not a good start, and you know, we say top of the third. This is where this bullpen. You can't continue to do this to this bullpen night in and night out.
No, you cannot. I guess maybe we're not completely surprised by this note, but the A's starting pitchers have the fewest innings pitched in the majors. And Surkamp tonight, 2 1/3. Couple of left-handers on the disabled list. That hurts. And here's Desmond. Desmond looking out there and seeing some RBIs, and he chased a bad ball.
You know, the A's have had their fair share of injuries to the staff, and Sonny Gray missed a little bit of time. He's someone that would normally eat up a bunch of innings. And when that happens, you got that AAA shuttle going.
Yeah. Sean Manaea just really, last 4 or 5 starts, throwing the ball pretty well, so he's out. That, I mean, Rich Hill's been your best pitcher, And he's been on the disabled list now for a little bit.
And the thing for Manaea, you know, the confidence was growing. 7 innings in his last start. And, you know, I know the pitch count was up a little bit yesterday, but doing a much better job. And
could be 2, and the A's need to turn it, and they won't. The throw to Alonso was high, and Alonso had to leap up to get it. And Desmond, who runs very well, beat the throw. So that's a defensive mistake, and it's now 8-1.
Zipchinski gets the ground ball, and you can see Lowry makes a good feed. And Simeon just kind of gets underneath that throw just a little, pulls Alonso off the bag, and we'll see if he gets back down in time.
Nomar Mazara.
Might not be the best angle. That, boy, it'll be interesting. That toe seemed to get down on that bag.
Boy, that's close.
But there again, is it enough to overturn it?
That's the question.
Ladies and gentlemen, the previous play is under review.
But it is, I mean, it's a big call.
Yes.
If the call is reversed, take one of the runs away. Innings over. We'll see.
This is a situation where you're down. You know, anytime there's a run scoring on a play that is somewhat close, you got to take the chance with the replay, even if you think there's an opportunity to turn it. If they do overturn it, it obviously saves the bullpen more pitches.
Yeah. It's probably worth the risk if you're Bob Melvin at this point. I mean, it's 7-1.
Yes, exactly.
You're just trying to get the heck off the field. See, the replays, I mean, he looks a little more out than safe on the replays,
but now they have more replays than that inside.
Yep.
So there could be some other angle that gives them more.
All right, let's see. And he's out. All right. So the A's get the call overturned, so take a run away. So it's 7-1 as we head to the bottom of the third.
Code DAD to receive $10 off field level tickets to see the A's take on their AL West rivals, the Los Angeles Angels. Discounted Father's Day tickets are subject to availability, so make plans now to treat Dad to an afternoon of baseball on Sunday, June 19.
7-1, the Rangers lead. It's the bottom of the third, so a lot of work to do for the A's. Facing Martin Perez. Alonso, Burns, and Lowry here in the third. Alonso in the lineup against a left-hander for the second night in a row. He was 0 for 4 last night. He did knock in a run with a sacrifice fly. Hitting at .245 with a homer and 13 RBIs. Bob Melvin sees a hot bat right now. He's got 13 hits in his last 31 at bats. Fastball in and rolled foul.
Kind of like A's pitchers last night with the big lead. You can kind of take advantage, try to pump strikes. Don't want to walk anybody here. Perez is kind of in that same situation now.
Rolled foul again. This one toward the dugout. Young man going after a churro. And those things are awesome.
I mean, churros at the ballpark when I was a kid, which I barely ever got them because we couldn't afford it, but when I did, all I wanted was another.
And now as an adult, I mean, eating like 4 of those is easy. It's a dessert. Alonso grounds out 4-3. So 1 out here in the 3rd. Yeah, I can remember
center fielder, #1.
going to County Stadium as a kid. I don't know if you ever went to County Stadium, but the smell was unbelievable. Just had hot dogs, bratwurst smell all over the place.
Sure, that's all that you were smelling?
Well, hey, come on now. See, that's an Illinois guy taking a shot at a Wisconsin guy.
But I grew up at an old Comiskey Park. I mean, come on. I was smelling the same stuff.
You had certain odors there, too. You're
yes.
Right. But that hot dog smell, it just made you want to have like 4 of them. And my dad said, here's $2. Spend it how you want to.
Yeah, but that's when you could get all that.
So then it was like, well, hot dog's $1, but then there's no soda. Oh, if I get 2 hot dogs. He made me think.
I mean, that food right there on the screen is what, 20?
And it's down below. Burns rips one down the 3rd baseline. So Billy Burns is going to have his 2nd hit. This one's a double. So there's plenty of time to kind of pick away at this lead. But you got to get guys in when you get an opportunity.
Yeah, Perez going with the slider down and in. And Burns, you saw him flare one to right in his first at bat. This one he turns on right down the line, and it's an easy stand-up double for him as quick as he is. You see just how quick he makes his turn around first base. Just cruises into second.
So for Burns, his 7th double of the year. Here's Lowry, who's singled in the 1st. So he's now with 4 hits off Team Perez. Fastball a little bit inside. Lowry hitting in the 2nd spot with Valencia to follow. And that one is drilled to left field. Mazara's going to get over there though, and he makes the catch. A hard hit ball by Lowry, but it's an out, 2 away.
Now batting,
Valencia.
3rd baseman, number 26.
Mentioned in our open about Martin Perez being a Tommy John guy. It was May of 2014 when he had Tommy John surgery. And he came back last year. It made 14 starts in the 2nd half of the season, so a little over a year.
Yep.
And he was good to go. So he made it through Tommy John. And still a young man, only 25 years old.
And lots of times with Tommy John guys, it's never that first year when you're back, it's the next year.
Yep.
That's when guys get back to normal, I guess you could say, kind of what you were prior to that surgery, prior to the injury.
You're probably seeing that a little bit with Perez.
I never had Tommy John, but all the guys that I played with who did just kind of said that first year you just don't quite have that feel, that extension.
Maybe a little apprehensive too.
Yeah.
1-1 pitch to Valencia. Breaking ball is down. The Rangers signed Perez as a 16-year-old out of Venezuela back in 2007. A couple years ago, they signed him to a long-term contract. He signed through next year, but then there's team options for 2018, 19, and 20. So could be a good deal for everybody involved. A little security for Perez, and Rangers have a good young left-hander for a long time.
And a few years ago, we saw that change with some contracts, buying out their free agent years with a bunch of option years and longer deals. Like you said, it can be a win-win.
Yeah. So 3-1 to Valencia. Ball's tapped slowly left side. Profar bare hands throws out Valencia. Nice play by the youngster, and the A's strand Burns at second base. Fourth inning coming up, 7-1 Texas. California is brought to you by Roaring Camp Railroads. You'll never outgrow the kid inside. That's why everyone rides for the Kids Fair weekdays after 2 p.m. Beautiful sunset here in the Bay Area. All right, now the A's trailing 7-1, top of the fourth inning. It's getting chilly. Youngsters are bundled up. So Sebczynski stays out there. A whole host of base runners for the Rangers in the first 3 innings. They got 8 hits. They've also received 4 walks. Mazzara, Rua, and Fielder here in the top of the fourth.
A's pitchers need to find a way to get some quick outs.
Yep.
They've thrown a lot of pitches. And with it now being a bullpen game, the quicker outs you can get, the better.
Swing and a miss, 2-2. I talked about this last night. The A's are in a stretch of 30 games in 31 days. They will have an off day on Monday. and then they don't have another off day till the All-Star break. How about that?
Well, and that's where
it's a long stretch.
Starts like these really hurt you, because it can also affect guys' careers. More guys are going to have to be sent out. Fresh arms brought in. If the bullpen's going to have to suck up this many innings.
Swing and a miss. So Zara strikes out. 2 strikeouts for A's pitchers.
Well, here's a good sinker from Zubczynski. You can see it goes right under Mazara's hands.
Now batting,
swinging right over
16,
the top, and that's a good fastball.
Rua.
That's the location he was looking for in the last inning.
So here's Rua. Yeah, so the breakdown in that stretch of games, these are right now in a stretch of 10 straight games, and then they'll have Monday off, and then after that 20 consecutive days where they will play a game. The numbers on the starters, so that right there usually goes hand in hand, obviously. And the 20 straight games, that's the maximum number of days you could play in a row, correct? According to the baseball agreement.
If it's changed, because I know one of the years in St. Louis we had a couple rainouts and we played 34, I think, in the last 33 days of the season.
Maybe you can.
I mean, towards the end, if there's rainouts, you don't have a,
maybe you may not have a choice. If both teams okay it, you can.
But maybe it's what they can only schedule.
Yeah. Sonny Gray is going to pitch tomorrow. Sonny's got the beanie on. Pitches low. Now, when you were pitching, you don't see guys anymore chart the night before a pitch. Were you guys doing that?
No.
No.
When I was in AAA, we did.
AAA.
Yeah, but when I was younger, there were some teams who did that.
Still did it. Yeah.
And it wasn't necessarily because it was more the pitching coach who wanted guys to do it, because they're noticing tendencies now with the video equipment, with the stuff. I mean, we had VHSs.
Yeah. Pop it in, pop it out.
So that was more just to help you watch tendencies, watch the way guys attack your pitcher, attack their hitter, and hopefully it would help you in some way.
So the days of holding that clipboard in the dugout were over by the time you got to the big league.
Oh, that was miserable. Wasn't a fan of that.
Yeah. One out for Prince Fielder, who takes a fastball for a strike. Fielder has grounded out, and he has walked in, or he has singled and scored. So 1 for 2. A little bit outside. Angels are leading the Twins 4-2 in the 5th inning. Angels in need of some wins. They have lost 7 out of 8. They lost last night to the Twins 9-4. But winning tonight should be playable. Valencia down the line, and Valencia grabs it. So Fielder fouls out. 2 away for Profar.
Number 19, Jurickson.
Well, last night, Cologne pitched and Neal pitched. So really, that's not bad.
Nope.
If your starter leaves in the 5th inning and you only have to use 2 relievers.
No, but after the innings that they did throw, they're not going to be throwing today.
Yep. And Migden in the middle, he's going to get another start. Not that there was any doubt, but Migden's going to pitch on Thursday. That's the day game. He'll be opposed by Colby Lewis. One-0 pitch to Profar is a strike. A ground out and a strikeout for Profar. Fernando Rodriguez heads down. That one is hit on the ground, backhanded by Valencia. He gets up and he throws out Profar. Nicely done by Danny Valencia at third base. So the Rangers do not score. Runs in a season versus the Rangers by an ace player. Reggie Jackson hit 9 in 1974. Jason Giambi hit 8 in 2001. Chris Davis has already hit 5 in 4 games, and there's a lot of baseball left between these two teams. And he has not played a game in Arlington yet, where the ball tends to sail out a little bit, maybe not as much as it used to.
It was crazy how it used to be.
Yeah, it's different now.
Swirl and go straight out to right center. It was never fun pitching.
1-1 the count to Davis. Just had an RBI double in the first inning. He now has 43 RBIs. The RBI leader in the American League is David Ortiz with 55. Edwin Encarnacion has 54. Cano 51. Davis just out of the top 10 in that category.
Davis just can't quite lay off this heater up and away. Saw it, tried to stop his swing, and just went around.
To pitch, 87 miles an hour, and Davis swings and misses.
Perez went with the slider. Got a middle in, but it was more of a backup slider, and Davis just underneath it. That's one of the toughest pitches to hit in baseball, that backup slider. You think it's going to break, try to pull your hands in, and it just doesn't.
So Davis, the first strikeout victim on the A's. And here's Butler. Butler hit a long fly ball to center field to end the first inning. Both teams scored single runs in the first. Perez grabs it, throws to first in time. Butler is out. And Perez did a nice job of just taking his time. He knew he had a slow runner. He did not rush the throw. Also, if you were left-handed, Mark, you look at how he fielded it. He fielded it properly. He was set to throw to first.
Yeah, you get yourself around it. You can see he almost fields it behind himself. You wait till the ball passes you. That way your feet, you can see how his feet are in line almost with the umpire. And then you step towards first and make the throw. And like you said, that's the important thing. You have to know who's running. You got to know the situation. You got to know whether you can take your time or not. And he did that.
First pitch to Fegley in for a strike. Fegley hit a fly ball to center field, leading off the second inning. Three-run homer last night for Fegley. A straightaway defense. That's a thing of beauty, isn't it? How often? Look at that.
Are they feeling all right?
They're right where they're supposed to be. Don't see that very often. Chu is pretty shallow in center field.
Such a pretty look, though. Because you don't see it anymore.
You don't see it quite as much. We miss it. Driven towards center. Desmond's over. And that's a 3-up, 3-down inning for Martin Perez. He's retired 5 in a row. And we're headed to the 5th. 7-1 Texas. '69, Reggie Jackson collects a franchise record 10 RBIs. He hit 2 home runs, had a double and 2 singles. He did it against the Boston Red Sox at Fenway, and the A's won 21-7. That was 1969. Good-looking uniforms by the A's. The all yellow back then. Top of the 5th, 7-1. Rangers lead. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. It's your oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. So Fernando Rodriguez comes in. He's the 3rd pitcher of the night for the A's.
You can see for Rodriguez, a great season so far. Last pitch Sunday in Cincy.
First pitch to Rougned Odor is high. He pitched 2 innings in that last outing. Odor has walked and scored, and he has singled and scored. So the A's have yet to retire him. Breaking ball from Rodriguez.
You can see the tilt that Rodriguez creates straight over the top, stays very tall. And that ball just has a downward angle to it. The fastball before came out of the same slot. There was a breaking ball.
Tried it again. Odor does not go after it.
I always like those pitchers that just kind of stay tall. He has a short stride, arm nice and high, and you can see the angle. A ball that's going down is awfully hard for a hitter to get elevated.
And he's got pretty good velocity.
That helps.
And that one is drilled towards center. Burns is there. So Odor is out. See the standing tall motion.
Yeah, you can see his back legs doesn't collapse a whole lot. Very short stride. You can see the dirt spot, whether it was Surkamp or whether it's Perez where they land. He's much shorter than that. And he's probably just as tall, but his stride is very short.
So that, I mean, a short stride will help you stay tall, right?
It can, yeah. I mean, there are guys who still have that angle who stride further, but having that short stride, it just kind of helps you get on top of that baseball and creates that angle a little bit more.
Elvis Andrus is 2 for 2. Bottom of the order has really done their thing tonight for the Rangers with Odor, Andrus, and Chirinos doing major damage. Odor, told you what he did. Andrus has 2 singles and a run scored. Chirinos with a 3-run homer and a walk. Production from the bottom of the order is a thing of beauty. Fastball inside. Fegley wanted it inside. So another good night for foul balls. Last night, a little over 13,000. Tonight, maybe a little bit more. If you just had foul balls in mind, you could do some damage to this. That big curve, and now a full count to the Rangers shortstop. Chirinos eyeing him up. Keeping an eye on the pitcher. It's fun to watch what guys do in the on-deck circle. Some guys don't seem too worried about it. Other guys got a whole ritual they do down there.
Yeah, and it's always funny watching. Some guys stand in different spots too. Some try to creep behind home as much as possible so they can kind of get a better view. Some guys you'll see the on-deck circle to be on the other side of it because they really don't care. They're just kind of doing their routine of what they do to prepare themselves.
3-2 pitch, a high fastball hit toward right. Smolinski foul territory. He'll have just enough room.
Follow Athletics Baseball live with the MLB.com @BAT app. Stay up to the moment, any moment, with Game Day Live, game video highlights, StatCast news, and more. Download MLB.com @BAT, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone and tablet.
So that'll bring up Chirinos. Pitch to Chirinos is a strike. A 3-run homer by Chirinos in the second. It turned a 1-0 game into a 4-0 game. looked like a little cut fastball.
Doesn't have to be much. Nice little cutter. Like I said, right off that same angle. Trino's out in front of that.
So 1-2 the count. Fastball, 89 miles an hour, but some late movement. So he gets the strikeout and a good inning for Fernando Rodriguez. Bottom of the 5th coming up. Brought to you by USAA Insurance, banking and investments tailored for the military community. A's trailing 7-1. It's the bottom of the 5th inning. Martin Perez back to work. Just 49 pitches through the first 4 innings. So that's a pretty good number. A chance to get a 1 pitch out, and it does happen with Simeon grounding to short. Always a thing of beauty for a pitcher, especially when you got a 7-1 lead.
Yeah, quick outs are your friend for Perez right now. You want to pound that strike zone. He throws a lot of sinker balls. You just saw that one to Simeon right there. And when you start it in the strike zone and work it out, you get those weak swings and those weak ground balls.
Here's Smolinski. His first at bat, he lined out to the center fielder. He's had 3 hits in the first inning, a hit in the 3rd inning. That's it. Just a 1 run on 4 hits. Inside corner strike. So Perez right now starting to get locked in a little bit. He's retired 6 in a row. 11 out of 12. This one's hit toward left field. Mazara's back near the wall, and he's got room. Smolinski went down and kind of golfed that one. Put a pretty good charge into it.
Well, it was a mislocation for Perez. You can see he wants it down and away, yanks it down and in. And Smolinski with a good swing, like you said, kind of just golfed it out of there. Didn't get all of it. You can tell by the sound, whether it got in on him or towards the end of the bat. Just enough that Mazara is able to make that catch.
So 2 away, and here's Alonso. First pitch, bounce to first. And that is a very easy inning for Martin Perez. He needed just 5 pitches. 6th inning coming up, 7-1 Texas.
baseball trading card pack presented by Topps. Bring Dad out to the ballpark for Father's Day and go home with a brand new set of baseball cards. Get your Father's Day tickets today at athletics.com/tickets.
Sixth inning, and the A's are trailing 7-1 to the Rangers. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and repair expert. So Ryan Dahl comes in for his 29th appearance. A win, a loss, and an ERA of 2.51. He has more strikeouts than innings pitched. Chu goes after the first pitch, lost one down the left field line. Davis stays in fair territory, and he makes the catch. So Chu is retired on one pitch, and that'll bring up Ian Desmond.
Well, you mentioned the strikeouts. More strikeouts than innings pitched for Dahl. He's not an overpowering guy, but he can elevate. He gets swings and misses. So there's some deception there that the hitters, they just don't quite pick up the ball the way you think.
It's always interesting with Dahl because you see the good slider,
yep,
but you also see him get swing throughs on fastballs that are 91, 92 miles an hour. That one, 90. So there has to be late movement. Or deception.
Well, yeah, there's some deception. There's certain guys around baseball, you know, every year there's always a handful of guys that are able to just, and there's the good breaking ball, but there's just guys that get those swings and misses on, and sometimes the ball's right down the middle, but it's just because the hitters don't pick it up. They pick it up late, so that 90, 91 becomes 94, 95 real quick because of how late they pick it up out of the hand.
0-2 to Desmond. So, I mean, if you were a pitcher, would you rather have 90 with deception or 94 without deception? Knowing that at 94 you can make a mistake and still get it by somebody, but
I'll take 94 and be able to locate. Actually, either one, as long as you locate.
Probably equal.
Like
that's
that.
Locating.
That's what you call locating, because he started him off with a fastball away, went to the breaking ball for strike 2, then bounced that 0-2 pitch. And boom, fastball inside, and Desmond, you can't pull the trigger on this. He's looking out over the plate. You can see him kind of stick that elbow out, just hoping for a call, and he got the wrong one. That's how you work the ball inside and out.
Zara, first pitch, little slider for a strike. The wonderful first pitch strike with a breaking ball. Always a thing of beauty for a pitcher. And make it 0-2. Zara has reached on a fielder's choice, hit a fly ball to left field, and he has struck out, so he's 0 for 3. Tapped up the first base line, and it's going to just roll foul.
Dahl got lucky there. This is a ball that hits the edge of the grass. Otherwise, this could have been a very difficult play because he's trying to pick that up with Mazara right in front of him, and to make that throw, Mazara's a big kid. As a right-handed pitcher, you got to pick that up, and the runner could be in your way, so you try to throw it over his left shoulder, and all sorts of things can go wrong in that situation.
And he went around. There's that hard slider by Dahl. And how about that inning for Ryan Dahl? A couple of strikeouts. Bottom of the 6th coming up. Still 7-1 Texas.
The longest lasting vehicles in America. Toyota. Let's go places. And by Xfinity. X1 from Xfinity will change the way you experience TV.
A's come to bat in the bottom of the 6th, trailing 7-1. Right now, Martin Perez is locked in. He's retired 8 in a row. He had a very easy 5th inning, and he's thrown just 54 pitches through 5 innings. That's somewhat Mark Mulder-ish, right? You like to throw strikes.
Well, I just always took the approach of I might have given up a lot more hits because of it, but I wanted to throw 3 pitches and get 3 outs. What we saw Perez do in that last inning, that was my favorite thing, especially with a lead like that. You go right after him. Quick outs, contact, let your defense do the work. And that's what we've seen from the A's bullpen the last 2 innings also. It's amazing what happens when you start pounding that strike zone. Getting strike 1, there's
bounce to first. Rua jumps up to catch it. So that's out number 1.
There's sometimes when you're a pitcher and you're pounding the strike zone that the hitters don't know what to do other than to swing. You force them into being aggressive, and that's when you can then expand the strike zone and get the swings, the weak contact, the pitches out of the zone because you got them in a swing mode. But if you don't do that in the first couple innings, it makes things a lot more difficult.
So you noticed when a lineup sees you're throwing strikes where they change a little bit and say, hey, we might as well try to get them early.
Absolutely. There are times you can make a patient lineup aggressive, you know, because they don't want to be down 0-2 after 2 pitches every at bat. And if you're able to do that, you force them to swing the bat. And it's not like it's that easy. Don't get me wrong. It's not like you just pump strikes and then next thing you know they're swinging at balls out of the zone, because you still have to make those pitches.
So 1-1 the count to Lowry, who has singled and hit a fly ball to left field. One of the 4 hits the A's have. That one in on the hands a little bit of Lowry. So Perez, as most good left-handers do, they just cut the ball in a little bit to right-handed hitters. Doesn't have to be a lot. If you can even get it off the sweet spot of the bat, even an inch, make all the difference in the world. That one is lining the left center field for a hit. So Lowry is 2 for 3.
This is just bad pitch selection by Perez. He got Lowry on that sinker or the fastball in to foul it off his fist, and then he goes with a slider where you can see Lowry, his body moved, was cleared his hips early. Anything down and away there, anything away, Lowry really wouldn't have had a chance, but he got to that slider, which was down and in. Technically not a bad pitch. It's just not something you want to follow up with a good fastball to in like he did.
So 1-out base runner for the A's. Here's Valencia. Valencia has had no luck tonight. Bounces this one under the glove of Odor. So that time Valencia got one through. He had lined out and then was robbed of a hit by Profar, but Odor had a shot at it. Like he may have overdove it just a little bit.
Well, you're exactly right. You talked about how he didn't have any luck. Well, he got some on this because Odor, it seemed as if, got ahead of this ball and tried to field that almost a little late, back behind himself a little bit. And by then it was under his glove and into right field. You can see he's frustrated that he didn't make that play. He might have been thinking trying to turn and spin to make that play before he caught the ball.
So an opportunity for the A's to try to climb back in this with Chris Davis, the hitter. Davis check swing, foul ball. Davis RBI double in the first. He was thrown out Actually, he was not thrown out. He ended up at third on the play where Lowry was thrown out at home, trying to score. Close pitch, a little bit low. And Cologne ready to go out in the A's bullpen. Could be one of those nights where Bob Melvin says, how about we get an inning from each guy? So we've been talking about Chris Davis and the damage he has done against the Texas Rangers this year. This is the 5th game that he has played against them. He's got 5 home runs and 14 RBIs and a .533 batting average. Well, the Rangers have seen enough of him.
Davis is wondering, how can I play more games against the Rangers pitchers?
19's not enough.
Well, Chirinos just making sure they're on the same page here with Martin Perez. Big spot in this game. They obviously don't want to let the A's back in this. You don't want to make a big mistake here. We'd like to see the opposite, though.
One-two pitch is low, and now 2-2. Butler would be next. So the A's looking for a big hit from Chris Davis. Rangers sitting right at double play depth. Outfield is deep, slightly shaded toward left center. And now full count. So big pitch here. A's want to get back in it. Chirinos goes through some signs out in front of home plate, lets his infielders know what's going on. 21 balls and 46 strikes for Martin Perez. Payoff pitch is lined to right center, and that's a hit. Lowry's going to round third. He will score, and Chris Davis comes through, and it's 7-2. 3 straight hits against Martin Perez. So Valencia was able to go around to third.
The A's just need to find a way to chip away, and this is a good way to start. 3-2 count. Chris Davis sitting all over a heater. Gets one middle away. Drives it into right center, and you can see Lowry at second. Just has to hold for a second, just to make sure that ball wouldn't carry all the way into center, I suppose. But Valencia able to move on to third. The A's are in business. First and third. Still 1 out.
So Butler steps up. Valencia at third. Davis at first. Give Davis 44 RBIs now on the year.
Now batting, designated hitter, number 16, Billy Butler.
Butler tonight has hit a deep fly ball to center field, and he has bounced back to the pitcher. First pitch is drilled to center. Desmond over. He's got it. Valencia will tag. Valencia will score with a slide, and it's 7-3. So Butler does his job, gets a sacrifice fly.
Billy Butler coming up hacking. First pitch, gets a fastball middle, drives it to center. That's all you're trying to do. Get something in the outfield, get that run in, and Desmond overthrows the cutoff man, but because it was hit so hard, Davis at first really didn't have time to get back to first to try to tag on that throw all the way home. I'm not sure what Desmond was really thinking trying to airmail it all the way to home because you're really no chance of getting them.
So here's Fegley. Pitch number 70 coming up for Perez. Fegley chases a changeup. So Fegley 0 for 2 so far. A couple of balls to center field. Slider in there for a strike, so a quick 0-2. So Fegley will now try to protect. Perez goes up the ladder with a fastball. See if he tries now to go below the knees.
It's a good 0-2 pitch, though. You move the hitter in the box.
In the air to left field. Going back is Mazzara. He's at the wall and he leaps and it's off the wall. That's going to allow Davis to score. Fegley will stop at second. It's 7-4. Fegley almost pumped one out of here. Kind of like last night where he reached for it a little bit, but was able to get the
It's called staying through the baseball. And you can see this ball's away, but in one hand almost comes off the bat, but you can see the extension that he gets. It gets it on the barrel, and that creates the backspin. That's why that ball carried. I thought, watching the monitor, I thought that ball was just going to be a fly out to left field, but it had so much carry to it. And Mazzara just can't get high enough. You can see it hits about 5 feet above him up on the wall. And Davis, who's running on the pitch or on the swing, scores easily.
And just like that, we got action in the bullpen for the Rangers. Barnett starts to throw a right-hander. Line foul. See how close Mazzara was. Watch when it comes down, it actually hits him in the shoulder.
Yeah, it hits almost right off the side of his chest on his shoulder and kicks away from him. But it was hit so high, yeah, it's coming straight down. Yeah, there's really nothing he could do. Good thing Desmond was over there like he was, though.
Grounded toward short. Anderson will scoop this one up. Side retired, but the A's get themselves back in the game with 3 runs on 4 hits. So we're through 6. It is now a 7-4 Rangers lead. And today marks the U.S. Army's 241st birthday. USAA honors those who have served in the U.S. Army and all of our service members around the world. back to work. He had a nice 6th inning with a couple of strikeouts through just 9 pitches. Bob Melvin will try to get a couple of innings of work out of Dull. Pitch there, and it's 0-2. It's been Surkamp for 2 1/3. Subjinski 1 2/3. Rodriguez an inning, and now Dull for his 2nd inning. Good pitch. Strike 3 called with the slider. 3 straight strikeouts for Dull.
Dull isn't waiting around. He got that 0-2 count. He was trying to bounce that. Another backup slider. You can see Rua just kind of give up on this. Comes back over the middle of the plate. It's making quick work.
Well, and you know what's happening right now, Mark, is whatever the outcome of the game, we do not know, but the A's bullpen is allowing the A's offense to sneak back into this game.
Well, and it's like I talk about, the quicker the innings, the quicker you get your offense back in the dugout, the better chance you have of scoring runs, and it creates a little momentum. It creates a little excitement. I mean, the A's were down 7-1. I mean, that's making for a long night. And when all of a sudden the couple of these bullpen guys come in, have some really quick innings like that, it gives you a little momentum. It gives you a little bit of energy. And they've got it to 7-4 now, and there's still 3 at bats to go. So.
A's bullpen has retired 10 consecutive Rangers hitters. Changeup from Dull. Just misses. 2-0 the count. Profar has grounded out twice, and he has struck out. Fastball right there at 91 miles an hour. Angels leading the Twins 5-4 in the 7th inning. Check out the other teams in the AL West did in just a little bit. Profar shoots with a foul. That's the hard-throwing Matt Bush. It's up. Been quite a story. Terrific job for the Rangers in their bullpen. 2-2 pitch, high fastball, foul to our left.
You caught any yet?
No,
Balls?
once in a while one comes up, not very often. To get one to this level, it doesn't happen very often. And I'm not a big try to catch it guy.
It's all right. I'll take care of you.
All right. You're younger and your reflexes are much better. See, that's a long ways up. Once in a while one will sail over our head. Billy Burns steps to his right. He's got it, and another 3 up, 3 down inning. So Ryan Dull retires all 6 he faces. 7-4 in the 7th inning stretch. the Oakland Coliseum. The very nice pregame festivities. See A's pitcher Sean Doolittle involved, and that is Jennifer Azzi, who is, of course, the head women's basketball coach at USF and former Stanford Cardinal great. But a nice night for everybody involved, and the A's are donating a portion of tonight's ticket proceeds to the following Bay Area charities: AIDS Project East Bay, Our Space, and Rainbow Community Center. So a check for $30,000 to those above charities was presented before the game. So nicely done by the Athletics. Right now the A's trying to get back in the game. Well, they are back in the game now. Maybe finish up what would be a heck of a comeback. 7-4, and there's a base hit. So a good start. Smolinski again goes down to get a low pitch. So hit number 9.
We've seen a few good at-bats from Smolinski, especially going the other way. This a sinker meant to be down and away. Martin Perez yanks it middle in a little bit, and Smolinski drives it right back up the middle for a nice start.
So Perez now 78 pitches. A's have now out-hit the Rangers. Probably didn't see that coming 3 innings ago, but the A's had 4 hits last inning. Smolinski gets things going here in the 7th. A little bit high. So 2-0. So everybody's going to come out and chat with Perez. Matt Bush is pretty much ready in the bullpen. You can hear him popping the mitt down there, so I think he's pretty close to being ready. Very hard throw. But Perez was rolling along, locked in, but he got himself in trouble in the 6th inning. 2-0 pitch, low. Now it's 3-0.
The way Perez has thrown a couple of these pitches, it's almost as if he's looking fatigued. His arm is dropping a little bit. Not kind of behind the baseball like we've seen. That one much better, though.
Billy Burns to follow. Strike. So now it's 3-2. Who knows? Maybe Alonso said, I'm going to make you throw a couple strikes.
Well, you'd have to think Perez would try to go right back to that location.
In on the hands a little bit of Alonso. Ground out to second and a ground out to first for Alonso. So lefty on lefty. Alonso, the only left-handed hitter in the A's lineup so far tonight. He hits this one in the air to center, playable for Desmond. Desmond waits. So Alonso out, and that's out number 1, and here comes the top of the order in Burns.
Now batting center fielder, number 1, Billy Burns.
Burns has had a good night. A single in the 1st, a double in the 3rd, a ground out in the 6th. 2 for 3 with a run scored. Profar, the 3rd baseman, right on the edge of the grass. Outfield shallow. Burns, who is notorious for going after that first pitch, fouls it straight back.
Not surprising. If they're going to throw strikes first pitch, why not swing at it? Usually say you get one good pitch and at bat to swing at. If it's the first one, go for it.
There, 23 of 28 first pitch strikes. Swing and a miss. See a little tailing action there on that fastball.
And that's the sinker. That's the sinker where he gets a lot of his ground balls. He started that one just on the black, and you can see just how much movement this has away from Billy Burns. You can see him, he sees it, but he's laid on it, reaching for it.
Setting up inside. Fouled straight back. The Astros beat the Cardinals tonight in St. Louis 5-2. Rasmus had a home run for Houston. Moss and Adams home runs for the Cardinals. Swing and a miss. Got him outside, maybe off the plate a little bit. Big strikeout there for Perez for the second out.
Well, I think Billy Burns got caught looking for something either inside or a breaking ball, because this is another sinker way off the plate. And he basically just tries to throw the bat at it to try to foul it off.
So now it's up to Lowry to keep the inning going. And that Astros win, Pfister got the victory. He's now 7-3. He started to pitch well for Houston. Amy Garcia took the loss. Will Harris got the save. So the Astros now 31-35. Perez knocks it down, picks it up right on the mound, throws to first. Lowry is retired, and so are the A's in the bottom of the seventh. Eighth inning coming up from the Coliseum. 7-4 Rangers lead.
To 19th as Mike Trout, Albert Pujols, and the Los Angeles Angels invade the Coliseum for an action-packed three-game series. Friday's game will feature post-game fireworks, while Sunday's contest is the perfect Father's Day gift for family time. Get your tickets now at athletics.com/tickets.
Second baseman, number 12,
So new pitcher for the A's is Daniel Colum. 7-4 Rangers lead. It's the 8th inning. Colum pitched last night and did a good job. Back out there tonight when it's time for change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. Colum 24 pitches and an inning and 2/3 last night. So Bob Melvin says, give me 1 inning tonight.
That's what happens when you keep your pitch count down. That's right. You get rewarded the next night.
In the air to center. Burns going back. Still going back. Just enough room. And he's got it near the wall. 1 out. All right, A's Insider Podcast is live on CSNCalifornia.com. Log on each week as Joe Stiglitz talks baseball with players, coaches, special guests, and more. And this week, Joe's guest is former A's knuckleballer and Houston Astros radio analyst Steve Sparks. The A's Insider Podcast with Joe Stiglitz. It's on CSNCalifornia.com, also available on iTunes. Now, is it possible there could be a Joe Stiglitz, Mark Mulder podcast coming up?
There's a rumor.
There's a rumor. Okay. All right.
I've heard that rumor.
Don't want to give that away. It's possible. Joe Stiglitz was tracking Mark down today. And if Joe's going after you, I mean, it's going to get you to talk into the microphone. And that one is drilled left field. That's trouble. Davis is going to watch it go. Elvis Andrus with his 3rd home run of the year, and an insurance run for the Rangers as it's now 8-4. 3 hits tonight for Elvis Andrus. So more damage, Mark, from the bottom of the Rangers lineup.
Yeah, they've hurt the A's pitchers tonight. Colum, you can see him go to the breaking ball and just kind of a hanger over the middle, and Andrus puts a great swing on it. You know, he's got some pop. I know he's hitting towards the bottom of the order. He used to hit higher in the order. He can do some damage, and this one kind of hurts the A's right now.
He's 5 for 8 now in this series, and here's Chirinos. Tapped up the line, and it's foul. Valencia picks it up. The Rays beat the Mariners tonight 8-7 in St. Petersburg. The Rays came back in that game. They had a 4-run 7th inning. So the Mariners now 34-30. Big game in the American League East. Big series. The Orioles and the Red Sox playing at Fenway Park. Orioles won tonight 3-2. Tillman over Price. Good curve by Colum. Chris Tillman is 9-1. Kind of a quiet 9-1. 9-1 with a 2.87 ERA. Those are all-star numbers for the Orioles right-hander. Another curve, and again bounced foul.
Well, most of the damage the Orioles have done has all been offensively.
Yeah,
their pitching really hasn't been that good, which is why I think Tillman's gone so under the radar.
Yeah, he's kind of been that constant in the rotation, and there are some questions in that rotation. Helps to have Manny Machado. He hit his 17th home run tonight. David Price had 11 strikeouts in 8 innings, but he took the loss. He's now 7-4. So that gives the Orioles a 1-game lead over the Red Sox in the East. Valencia has this one, straightens up, across the diamond, 2 outs. And now to the top of the order in Shin-Soo Choo.
Now batting, number 17.
Blue Jays beat the Phillies interleague game 11-3. Home runs all over the place for Blue Jays. No surprise there. Donaldson a grand slam. Encarnacion homer. Carrera, Pilar. Hey, who's that guy?
Ooh, somebody pulled that out of the attic.
Yeah. They knew you were in the building. There's a few of those out there. We see them once in a while. The big three. Did you ever get sick of that? Because you guys were stuck together whether you liked it or not.
Yeah. No. No, I can't say I got sick of it.
How could you, right?
Yeah. It was a fun time.
Yeah, I guess. Did you get sick of it? That's probably not the right question. But it was the three of you. Yeah. I mean, everybody looked at it, thought about the A's.
Without a doubt.
A little high with the curve. Chu is 0 for 2, but he's walked twice. Scored a run and driven in a run. He walked with the bases loaded. That was in the third inning. Texas was 1 in the first, 3 in the second, 3 in the third, and 1 here in the 8th. Anderson home run. And a good breaking ball. Colon gets the strikeout, but a run for the Rangers, the home run, and it's now 8-4 as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Toyota dealers 8-9-0 for the Rangers, 4-9-1 for the Athletics. Martin Perez, pretty good outing, 7 innings, gave up 4 runs. Eric Surkamp was knocked out in the 3rd inning, unfortunately. Rule with the home run, and the bottom of the order has done major damage for the Rangers. Chris Davis stays hot, 2 hits and 2 RBIs. But right now the A's trailing 8-4, bottom of the 8th inning. And they will now face the new pitcher, Matt Bush. And boy, has he been something special for the Rangers, and you think where the Rangers bullpen would be without him. Well, bullpen's been knocked around quite a bit this year. Not the case with this guy, Matt Bush.
No, he's been the one bright spot in this bullpen, and comes in, I mean, 95, 97. He's got a power arm.
So everybody, most everybody knows the story. Bush was the #1 pick in the draft many years ago by the Padres as a shortstop. Got into some trouble with the law. Spent some time in jail. but always had the great arm, and now he's in the big leagues with the Rangers and thriving. It's an easy delivery as well.
Yeah, and you see that cut fastball at 92 or so. A lot of movement. Not drafted as a pitcher, though.
Nope, shortstop, right? It was the 2004 draft. The Padres grabbed him. Profar ranges to his left, reaches out, scoops it up, and throws out Valencia. So who was picked right after Matt Bush? Always the question you ask. Justin Verlander. Phil Humber made it to the big leagues. Jeff Neiman did as well. Jared Weaver was 12. Billy Butler in that draft. Houston Street was a sandwich pick at 40 by the A's. So it's all easy to look back now.
Yep.
First pitch to Chris Davis, a high fastball he fouls it there. Davis doubled in a run in the first, struck out in the fourth, and singled in a run in the sixth. That is Jake Diekman, left-hander. For the A's, across the way, Zach Neal. Breaking ball for a strike. Davis, his batting average now right at 250. Leads the A's in home runs and RBIs. I think we had a nice play. It's a good looking jacket too. Good play with a good jacket. 1-2 pitch, foul back, 96 miles an hour. Check it out. Ooh.
Using the hat.
Hey, when you're rocking the satin green A's jacket, you can catch anything, any way you want.
And it kind of looks like that jacket might have been from his younger days.
His little brother's jacket. There's the fastball, and it's right past Davis, a swinging strikeout. So 2 outs here in the 8th.
Well, we talk about the power fastball, and here it is. That's just more of a, all right, here you go, let's see you hit it. And he just blew that right by Chris Davis after throwing him a few breaking balls.
So Butler hits with 2 outs, nobody aboard. Butler a 0 for 2 night, but he has a sacrifice fly. Almost looked like Bush, and he's throwing 96, so it's very good velocity, but
yeah.
it almost looks like the ball kind of jumps at the hitter as well.
It's got another,
that's a big advantage.
Yeah, it's got another gear, you know, to get right past that hit. It's effortless though. That's the thing. Very quick, short arm.
Well, then you get a little movement. That one just exploded down. Axford joins Zach Neal. Fastball down and away. Butler fouls it. Crowd tonight 13,101. About the same as last night. A few less cars in the parking lot tonight. No Warrior game tonight. Warriors will play on Thursday in Cleveland. Breaking ball. Tap to Andrus, who waits, flips it across, side retired. Good inning for Matt Bush. 3 up, 3 down with a strikeout. So 9th inning coming up. Rangers 8, A's 4.
presented by Ray Morgan Company. After the game against the Angels, our famous fireworks show will be set to music from classic baseball movies, including The Natural, Bull Durham, Field of Dreams, and more. There's no better way to start the summer than with A's baseball and fireworks, so visit athletics.com/fireworks today.
So 8-4, it's the top of the ninth. New pitcher for the A's is Zach Neal.
Number 58, Zach Neal.
Well, picking up his first career save last night, finishing off the A's win with the final 3 innings, getting the last 9 outs.
3 innings, 32 pitches last night for Neal. First pitch is lined to right, and that's a hit, and that's going to go to the wall. So Desmond has himself a double on first pitch fastball from Neal. So hit number 10 for the Texas Rangers. Well, CSN's Authentic Fan Fridays at the Coliseum are back. This Friday, the Angels are in town. You're going to get a ticket in our value deck behind home plate, an authentic A's snapback hat, a cheer card, and a $6 food and drink voucher, all for one great price. The best deal in Barry baseball is CSN's Authentic Fan Fridays. So join us for that. A's and Angels. So leadoff double, here's Mazzara. Fouls it left field. Royals beat the Indians again 3-2, so the Royals are starting to get hot again. They've won 4 in a row, and they're now just 1 game behind the first place Indians. So the Royals have won the first 2 games of that series in Kansas City. Tigers also picked up a game. They beat the White Sox 11-8. So the Royals are 1 back. The Tigers are 2 back of the Indians. So it's getting tight in the Central. 9th win for Jordan Zimmerman tonight.
Talk about falling apart, the White Sox.
Yeah.
Got off to such a good start.
They were the talk of baseball the first month. Neal has it. He thought about going to third, but he'll get the sure out at first. But Desmond gets to third with 1 out, so that's a big 90 feet.
Now batting.
And now
number
Rule
16,
will hit with the infield.
Ryan Rua.
Angels still leading the Twins 5-4. That game now in the 8th inning. Chacin started that game for the Angels. So it is possible he could pitch this weekend. First pitch to Rua is a base hit to center field. Rua just kind of reached out, hit it right off the end of the bat, but he'll take it. It's an RBI single, and it's now a 9-4 Rangers lead. May have stung his hand a little bit. He'll
Yeah, you can see just how far out in front. I mean, this is almost a cue shot right off the end of the bat, but it was enough. And since it was a changeup, broken bat, and it almost died right on that first bounce, but got enough of it. You can see the hands are stinging.
He's not feeling it great.
It's a cool night down on the field. And,
good night, though, for Rua. He's got 3 RBIs. He had a sacrifice fly in the first, a home run in the third, and then the RBI single. Prince Fielder takes high. So 6 pitchers tonight by the Athletics, because Surkamp, the starter, only went 2 1/3. Change up and a good take by Fielder. 2-0. So we'll have a night game tomorrow and then a day game on Thursday in this series before the Angels come to town. Rangers know that the second-place Mariners have lost. That one down the right field line, near the foul pole, and it is foul. So we will be back with you tomorrow night. It all starts at 6:30 with A's pregame live. It'll be Derek Holland and Sonny Gray. Of course, you get complete A's coverage every night on Sportsnet Central and CSNCalifornia.com. So another lefty will face the A's, Derek Holland. And that one is belted to right field. Smolinski hustling back. It's over his head. He bangs up against the wall. Ball rolls back toward the infield. And Rua is going to be waved all the way around. And he will score. So Prince Fielder gets his second hit. And now it's 10-4. Smolinski hustled back. He leaped up, just could not quite get it.
Prince Fielder never one to get cheated, I guess you could say. Gets this off the end of the bat just a little bit. Pulled the first one foul, but the next one he did something with this. You can see him drive it right over his head, and Smolinski, who couldn't get it, then hits the wall and has to run back and field it. Prince in at second base.
There's Profar. Profar. Check swing on the high fastball. He did not go. Profar tonight is 0 for 4. Looks like everybody else has a hit except Mazzara and Profar.
And this is a tough situation for Neal. You know, he's been starting, Zach Neal, he's been starting in the minor leagues. Pitches last night, now coming on back-to-back days. I mean, I don't know, but this could be the first time he's maybe done this.
Sure.
You know, if he's been starting his career in the minors or being a starting pitcher in the minors.
And you can see what Bob Melvin's doing. It's,
yes.
It's a game where you're losing 10-4. And you don't want to use your 3 top guys. Yep. Do a little Axford and Matson. You just don't want to use those guys. And those right now are the only 3 relievers who have not pitched tonight.
Well, 8-4, what? 8-4 going into this inning. So you're better off using someone else, like you said, besides them, because you'd rather save them with the days to come.
They're sitting close together too, because it's a little chilly. So 3-2 the count with Prince Fielder at second, a couple of runs in here. Hit hard. Alonso dives, can't get it. Prince Fielder's going to be held at third. Profar gets the hit, so 4 hits in this inning by the Rangers. Still only 1 out.
Profar, the last one of the Texas hitters to get a hit. Able to finally get his just under the glove, and you can see Prince on the go. And at 10-4, it's not really a reason to try to push anything.
So Odor is the hitter. So 13 hits now for the Rangers. The A's have 9.
Now batting, number 12, Rougned Odor.
Odor is 1 for 3. Single and a walk and a couple of runs scored. And as we've mentioned before, That's Odor in the 7th spot. Andrus has 3 hits in the 8th spot. Chirinos a 3-run homer in the 9th spot. And he got a pitch to hit there. A changeup that was up. And he fouled it back. I would not throw him that one again.
No, you might want to try and get that one down a little bit. Just a little bit.
He rips one foul. He does not get cheated. What would you do with this guy if you're facing him?
Well, I mean, first of all, I'd let him pull those balls foul.
Yeah.
You know, if you can command something inside and then try to work something down in a way that's off speed, maybe. Now you could possibly go to that changeup, but you got to locate it down in a way to where it's not. You can't really put it in play unless he hits it right off the end of the bat.
Takes a good rip at every pitch. Davis in. Davis, he's got it. It's fielder with block, but not going anywhere. So big out there, 2 outs. Elvis Andrus will hit.
Now batting, number 1.
Big night for the Rangers shortstop.
Andrews.
2 singles, a home run. He scored twice. And he's got 5 hits in this series. So he's thinking about knocking in another run. Slider called strike. Looks like Alex Claudio, who pitched last night, is warming up in the bullpen for the Rangers, the left-hander. Good pitch, 0-2.
Same thing for the Rangers. You get that lead. You don't have to use, it was when it was 7-4, 8-4. They could use some of their main guys, but now.
And Andrus strikes out. So Andrus is retired, but 2 more runs for Texas. It's now 10-4 as we head to the bottom of the 9th. Brought to you by Hyundai. It's coming up tonight, 10:30. It's on CSN Bay Area. Ray Ratto has analysis from Cleveland. What is Ray Ratto doing in Cleveland? That's a concern. Look ahead to Game 6 between the Cavs and the Warriors, and we'll have all the highlights and clubhouse reaction from the A's and the Rangers. Matt Freed will host. Last shot for the A's. They got a lot of work to do. They trailed 10-4. And Alex Claudio is the new pitcher. So third pitcher of the night. Claudio, his 12th appearance, just brought back from the minor leagues. And he'll face Fegley, Simeon, and Smolinski here in the ninth. The funky delivery.
Kind of see all arms and legs and kind of slinging that ball.
Yeah. He slung that one, but it got Fegley. And boy, you could hear that one from up here.
Yeah, it gets you right off the kneecap, I think. And sometimes when that happens, your leg almost just goes numb.
There it is, right off the left knee, side of the knee. But you're right, you feel like you can't walk.
Yeah, your leg almost goes numb, and that's the tough part about it, because you want to get up and say, okay, I'm good, but give it a couple minutes and you'll be good for just another inning.
Fegley's going to come out, so let's hope he's okay. So Ladendorf will run.
Please, ladies and gentlemen, running for Josh Fegley, number 25, Tyler Ladendorf.
So Ladendorf runs. He's have a base runner here in the ninth.
Now batting shortstop, number 10, Marcus Semien.
So Simeon steps up. Simeon looking for his first hit. He has grounded out 3 times. Bounces that one into left field for a hit. So he does indeed get his first hit. So now 2 on and nobody out for Jake Smolinski. And they're going to start moving around to the Rangers bullpen.
Well, Simeon gets that first pitch fastball. Why wait around if that's the best pitch? You can see him driving in between short and third. Out of the reach of Profar, who's made a few nice plays tonight.
That is the closer for the Rangers, Sam Dyson. So this is being done just to give Dyson a little time, who's not throwing, he's flapping his arms in the air right now.
Yeah, this is not what Jeff Bannister really wants.
You'd really like to have the guy get ready, let's go. But I'm sure that's something that Dyson does every time, so gotta be a reason for it. So here's Smolinski, who is 1 for 3. He had a base hit in the 7th inning. So maybe you have some small goals to get to, and right now a good one would be to get the Rangers closer in the game.
Absolutely.
Who knows, could affect the other 2 games in this series.
Well, and just him having to warm up
Sure.
is, I guess you could say, a small victory.
That one bounced foul. Yeah, I mean, what if you got him in the game and he had to throw 20 pitches? Who knows? So 0-2 the count to Smolinski. Ladendorf at second and Simeon at first. Off-speed pitch way outside.
62 miles an hour.
That's taking a little off.
That's tough to do.
Claudio is yet to retire anybody. reached for, popped up, ready to head back into the seats. Alonso will be next after Alonso Burns. Claudio now is indeed ready, and he gets Smolinski swinging. Get the feeling that Claudio's just, the ball's not going to be in the strike zone very often.
That's exactly right. This is I think this is a changeup. That's my guess, because I've seen 85 and I've seen 62, and that was 80. So Smolinski, after being out in front of a 65-mile-an-hour curveball that he fouled back, you can see just how difficult that was to stay back on that changeup.
So that's the first out, and here's Yonder Alonso. Alonso drives onto right field. That's going to get down for a hit. It's going to go to the wall. Landorf will score. Simeon's being waved home. Simeon will score, and Alonso with a 2-run double. So now it's 10-6. So you're starting to get some action.
Well, Alonso gets a first pitch. I'm guessing a slider. And you can see he's all over that. Drives that to right field. Both runners going on contact. Simeon sees that ball down, and the minute that thing bounces around in the corner, Walsh is at third base, waving Simeon on, who scores easily.
Claudio cannot get the job done. He scored twice. So we got a pitching change. It's now 10-6.
Ballot green and gold at athletics.com on your computer, tablet, or smartphone. Select days like Danny Valencia, Chris Davis, and Josh Reddick. Vote up to 35 times. Vote today, vote tomorrow. Vote at athletics.com/vote.
Well, the A's need a couple more base runners. Trying to get the tying run to the plate. They have got the Rangers closer into the game. That is Sam Dyson. So there's a small victory. Dyson, 10 saves in 11 opportunities. So you got to have the tying run in the on-deck circle for this to be a save. That is not the case. So no save opportunity for Dyson.
No, but Jeff Bannister doesn't really want to let it get to that point either. Dyson, hard thrower, 94, 97. Slider and a change.
couple of hits for Billy Burns with Alonso at second, 1 out. Fastball inside. Dyson a hard throw. Dyson had a save on Saturday in Seattle. He had a save on Sunday in Seattle. Did not pitch last night. And now it's 2-1. In fact, it was when the Rangers were here in Oakland in the middle of May. Tollison was just really struggling. That the Rangers made the change and said Sam Dyson's going to be our closer. 2-1 pitch and a nasty one there. So he's pumping 95 in there, and then he drops the low off-speed pitch.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden you get this 87 miles an hour. Good changeup down. It's tough to lay off that when you're after you've seen 95, 96 or so.
Burns takes, and now full count. Lowry a follow. After Lowry, Valencia. He's doing their best to make it interesting here in the bottom of the ninth. Two pitch, here it is, and it's tapped foul. May have been ball 4, but Burns made sure. Burns with a single in the first, a double in the third. Outfield, as usual, very shallow for Burns. 3-2 pitch. Odor has it. Throw to first is in time. Dyson was able to get over there. So that's a big play, and that's a big call.
Well, not only is this a great play by Odor, but Dyson is able to get over there. He doesn't really have time to pick up the bag. You just kind of run towards it and hope one of your feet. He happens to step right on it as he makes the catch. And what a nice play when you know Burns is running as quick as he is down that line. Able to get there and make that play.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Mark, but he stepped on it with his left leg, and generally you're going to step on the base with your right.
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about. He had to keep his eye on Odor because he didn't know when he was going to get that throw, and you don't have time to look down and try to pick up the bag, so you're kind of just hoping one of your feet hit it.
Whichever leg fits, right?
Yes.
So 2 away with Lowry. So Alonso now at third. Lowry has 2 hits tonight, 2 for 4. Last night the A's had 17 hits. Tonight they have 11. So there's been enough offense. So 0-2 to Lowry. He's down to their final strike. Dyson kicks and deals, and Lowry takes it low. Remember, another night game tomorrow. Derek Collins, Sonny Gray. Make sure you join us for that. So make sure you join us for A's Post Game Live coming up after this game. Reach for, poke foul just past the A's dugout. Kelly Johnson, Shooty Babbitt standing by, ready to break it down. 1-2 is a bit outside. Dyson went with that off-speed pitch again. But he'll probably, at some point, get back to the heater.
Yep. The A's aren't making it easy on him.
Make him throw as many pitches as you can. So a full count. Good at bat by Lowry.
I always did find it odd when someone has a 95, 97 mile an hour fastball and they continue to go off speed. You know, you have that. If I ever would have had it, that's all I would have thrown, maybe.
Well, especially with a 10-6 lead, right?
Right, exactly. Challenge the guy. Go after him.
3-2 pitch. He did there, 97.
You have a big lead, and your closer is kind of out there, not messing around, but messing around with off-speed stuff. Just kind of take that heater, throw it down and away. Most of the time, the worst that can happen is a single the other way.
And again, a foul ball back. Yeah, what you don't want to do here, if you're the Rangers, is let Valencia and Davis get at bats. Lowry's doing his best to get Valencia up. Another 3-2, and they called it strike three. Lowry can't believe it. So that's how the ball game ends. Lowry's going to argue, but it's not going to change the final outcome. So the A's do score a couple of runs in the 9th inning, but this is how the game ends. I don't know if it was a swing or well, it wasn't a swing.
No, he called it on the pitch, and it did seem like it was off the plate.
It did indeed. So it was not a swing. And you tell us if it was outside? Maybe a little bit. Doesn't matter. That's how the game ends, and Dyson gets the job done, and the Rangers even up the series at a game apiece. 3 hours and 8 minutes in front of 13,101. The Rangers beat the Athletics tonight here at the Coliseum. 10-6 is the final. You've been watching A's baseball on CSN California. It's part of the NBC Sports Group. Don't go away. A's Post Game Live with Kelly Johnson and Shooty Babbitt starts right now.